Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the garage. You guys hang out here a lot, don't you? Well, that's all right. Hey, as long as I got you here, why don't you watch this next clip from Wednesday night's Drunk Sports podcast? We got into some bracketology. It's a series that we do, much like your March Madness brackets, but we do weird and odd things like Marvel movies, fast food, kitchen appliances. This one is the Marvel movies. Our own Colby Sapp, who is a Marvel movie and cinematic universe guru, ranked his favorite 1 through 16 Marvel movies. And we're going to go through and treat them just like brackets. See who comes out ahead. This is brought to you by the Highlands Performance Golf Center, North Dallas's premier golf practice facility. Make sure you check them out. HighlandsPGC.com, 972-733-4111. Here's some bracketology for you. We appreciate you tuning in.
It's 9 p.m., and that can mean one thing and one thing only. That being that it's time for the Drunk Sports Podcast. Top 9 at 9.
Welcome into the Top 9 at 9 on the Drunk Sports Podcast. That time of the night when we have all the fun discussing a list. As our buddy Corey Major says, Colby, you do it better than me.
List. Whatever.
List this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listed lots of things.
Man, lists are fun.
List making is a sport, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask our buddy CA over the fan, Dallas Mavericks. And Colby, we're actually digging deep. If you will notice my Drunk Sports content folder here.
Right?
Okay, you can see how old it is.
Yes, I do.
I've got reads. I've got our golf stuff that I just did. I've got the Drunk Sports stuff out here. I have stuff paper clipped to the back of the folder. And included in this back of the folder paperclip is the list I'm using tonight that I have been sitting on for 2 years. Woo! I've been waiting for Olympics, Colby. Wow. I've been waiting for Olympics because the top 9 at 9 tonight are the top 10 surprising sport or top 9 surprising sports that were actually in the Olympics. As we get into the Olympics. For America. For America.
Uh-huh.
Right. Oh, look, Big Red's back.
Been back.
Welcome to the show, Big Red.
Hey,
Give it to me. Give it to me.
You haven't been back.
Give it to me.
I've been sitting here since y'all started talking.
Maybe for like 30 seconds.
That's what she said.
No, I wish. So we're doing the top 9 at 9 surprising sports that were actually in the Olympics. And Big Red, it wouldn't be the top 9 at 9 without what?
Honorable mentions, baby.
We have one honorable mention.
Because it's a top 10 list.
And some of these are pretty antiquated sports. Some of them not so antiquated that were actually in the Olympics recently that I couldn't believe. But our honorable mention for the night is plunge diving.
So, is that unclogging a toilet?
Is that what you call it? If you have a toilet clogged at home, do you tell the family, hey, don't open the door, I'm going plunge diving?
Yeah, well, I'm using a plunger.
That'd be awesome.
I figure,
Colby, when you use a plunger, which end of the plunger do you use regularly?
The sucky cup end.
Okay, I'm just clarifying because there are others out there that like to use the other end.
Just the stick end?
They like the stick end for certain things that they do to themselves when no one's around.
It sits on the other side of the toilet?
They usually don't use it in the bathroom.
And Colby, I believe that's what got us fired from the last place we were at.
No, what got us fired from the last place was my John Daniels rant. We didn't get fired from the last place, sir. We chose to leave there.
Okay.
Okay, just call us Bryson DeChambeau and call them Tim Tucker. Okay, it was a mutual parting of the ways.
Gotcha.
So, Colby, plunge diving, Lance,
Involve women?
encompasses water disciplines such as swimming, diving, and water polo. Its only appearance was at the 1904 Summer Games in St. Louis. Big Red, did you know St. Louis hosted the 1904
I never
Olympics?
knew that St. Louis was a host of the Summer Olympics. No,
I believe that's
would
why
be my
they-
destination.
I believe that's why they built the St. Louis Arch in 1904. And that is, in fact, erroneous because that was not built until the 60s. I just thought maybe somebody would catch me in that lie, but nobody did.
Nobody cares. Why the arch is there? Just if the drive-thru's open.
I don't have it ready. Thank you, sir.
God damn it, Griggs.
You're both a scholar and a gentleman, sir.
No, he's
You're a
not.
liar.
So, yes, plunge diving. Plunge for distance was a diving long jump. Competitors dove into the pool from a standing position, and their attained distance was measured after either 60 seconds passed or their head broke the surface, whichever came first. Divers could not propel themselves through the water after the initial dive as they were required to remain motionless.
So basically, if you just weren't a buoyant human, you were going to win that.
Plunge diving.
If your talent in life was the fact that when you enter the water, you don't come back up. Congratulations, you're a gold medal winner.
Hey.
If you make it to the age to where you can actually go into the Olympics, you might win.
Hey,
Colby,
I have the perfect meme for this. I'm going to find it and send it to you.
floating like a stone, and you probably didn't make it through the first time your dad kicked you into the water to learn you how to swim.
So in 1904, boys, Americans swept the medals because there were only 5 competitors in plunge diving in 1904 in St. Louis, and they were all Americans.
Good.
Do you think maybe America was like, man, we got to win some medals here?
Right.
Let's invent a sport and not tell any other country about it.
Or nobody else wants to, hey, let's see how long we can stay underwater. Medaling.
Hey, y'all, hold your breath.
What about the 2 guys that were from America that didn't get medals? How sad are they?
Do you think America tried to make like the copper medal and then the aluminum medal?
Right.
So they could all medal?
Everybody gets a trophy because we win.
Hey, participation trophies rule.
And that's where it started, and that's what's the downfall of America, because we tried to get medals.
Number 9 on our list of the top 9 at 9, surprising sports that were actually in the Olympics.
Drag racing.
Boys, I know this is, oh my God, you know what? You're close to the number 8 though, Colby. Not to give it away, but you're close. Number 9 on the list, croquet.
So they were knitting sweaters?
Not crochet.
Oh, okay.
Although, wait, let me look, because it's been 2 years since I looked at this list. No crochet.
Okay.
Croquet was another sport that had only one appearance in the 1900 Summer Games in Paris.
Can you imagine being the guy that was the cocky guy that had the croquet mallet and he was just ready to rock and roll, just rolling out there like gold medal is mine? That guy has absolutely no life.
How do you think the competitors in the Olympics went for all of those that competed in 1900 in Paris? And then you're being told by your host country, hey, we get to go to St. Louis in 1904. Wow. I can't wait. Let's invent plunge diving.
You're in Paris, and then you end up at the place of the
St.
home
Louis.
of chili spaghetti. So you were having Paris food, and now they put meat sauce on some noodles.
I thought that was in Ohio.
I think
that's Cincinnati.
I know that Cincinnati
Oh, they do it
style.
in St. Louis too.
Yeah.
Croquet, boys.
I mean, I know St. Louis has got some weak ass chili too.
And barbecue. Even though there were 3 events, singles, 1 and 2 balls, doubles, there were only 10 competitors, 9 of whom were from France. There was 1 competitor from Belgium, but he didn't make it through the first round. Another surprising note, 3 of the competitors were women, and they competed against the men.
Hey, Colby, I just sent you the world record holder in plunge diving.
Oh dear, sweet God!
Not surprisingly, France swept all of the medals, taking gold, silver, and bronze. in both singles competition and the gold medal in the doubles competition. I think we're going to get fired if we show that.
I bet his name is Bob.
Bob. I think that just told everybody what meme we're looking at.
Exactly.
It's too bad the competitor from Belgium couldn't find a partner. They would have been a shoo-in in the silver. Colby, you were close with your drag racing for number 8. Another one-hit wonder in the Summer Games, this time in 1908, held in London. So you go from Paris to St. Louis to London in 8 years.
Yes.
What are you doing, St. Louis?
Building an arch.
We are talking about, of course, motorboat racing, not motorboating.
Okay.
Motorboat racing. Let's clarify.
Now, I am sure there's
the
something
only-
that goes.
Wait. That has to be like the only motorized Olympic sport ever, right?
You would think so. I mean, there's you somehow can't conjure up the idea of an Olympic athlete because he can pull that cord faster than that other guy can in order to get his shit going.
I'm looking at the other ones on this list at least, and none of them are motorized.
I mean,
or motorboating.
I can't think of. I mean, everything else is any kind of Olympic sport is.
Is rocket launching an Olympic sport?
I mean, hell, why don't we do some kind of like just motor car racing as an Olympic sport? You know, we have NASCAR guys going up against FM racers.
Well, here's why. Have you ever watched Formula One?
Yes.
That's why the U.S. will never allow a motorized sport in the Olympics.
Why? The United States would dominate anyone in Formula One right now.
Dude, you don't
Every
watch
Formula One team sucks right now.
Dude, there
All right, we're going to get into Formula One talk after the show.
We will, yes, at some point.
Don't come at me about Mercedes,
Have you seen
Ferrari.
You seen what Haas is putting out there this year?
Yeah, because they don't have any money.
Garbage.
If America put a F1 team in play, America would dominate. You know why, Lance? Because America. I don't know why you hate America all of a sudden.
You are
motorboat racing, boys, in the 1908 Summer Games in London was the only time that any kind of motorized sport has taken place in the Olympic Games. So there you go.
It would be a bad time to announce my favorite motorcycle is a Yamaha.
Colby, you know I ride a Harley, right?
I know.
Hey, but I owned 2 Yamahas before my Harley, so I'm kind of right there with you.
Gotcha.
And I had a dirt bike Yamaha in the 70s and an enduro Yamaha in 81. These were, there were 3 separate events in motorboat racing, each one for its own class of motorboat. Each race consisted of 5 laps around an 8 nautical mile course. Unfortunately, someone must have forgotten to inform Mother Nature that this was the Olympic Games, because even though multiple boats started each race, only one managed to complete each race.
That one guy in the middle of lake, whatever it is, just trying to get that lawnmower to start.
It says this was mainly due to gale force winds that swept over the course and flipped the boats over. The fact that motorboats were only invented like 20 years before probably had something to do with this.
The 4 guys that had knowledge of how to actually do that. And here's Gale just effing everybody up.
Gale. What are you doing, Gale? Listen to this. The final medal count. 3 gold, 0 silver, and 0 bronze. Everyone's a winner. If your boat did not flip over, you're a winner. Oh, God. I love the Olympics. Number 7 on our list of weird Olympic sports that were actually in the Olympics. I offer you 200-meter obstacle swim.
Were they throwing pies at people in the water? Please tell me they were throwing pies at people
Sharks,
in the water.
The original jump in the shark.
Continuing with one-and-done events is the 200-meter obstacle swim, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. The curious event took place, like croquet, at the 1900 Olympic Games. in Paris, Gay Paris.
Okay.
Like
I
all,
got gold if it wasn't for that one dolphin hoop.
am I setting a record for consecutive segments throwing out a French accent?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, don't ever do it again.
Like all swimming races in the Paris Games, the obstacle race took place in the River Seine. Competitors, good Lord, you got a lot of noise over there. Competitors were rowed out. They took them out 200 meters in the water and then dropped them off. They're like, okay, bye, Bob. First, they had to climb over a pole. Then they had to climb over a row of boats. Then finally under another row of boats.
Swim under a row of boats.
Yeah, then they had to climb over a pole.
So part of this wasn't swimming. It was like actually
Climbing.
you're climbing over boats in the. I want to see this now, but I want to see this in like a version of Wipeout.
Right.
Just so we can have the guy throwing pies. Still want pies in this somehow.
Unlike the previous entries, this event had enough competitors, 12 from 5 countries, to have semifinal heats. However, since the top 10 times qualified for the finals, it also seems that it might have been just poor choice and a cruel trick to play on the 2 non-qualifiers. Including the only guy from the United States.
What Bob doesn't know is that last boat, we turned it on.
We electrified him. So, 200-meter obstacle swim. Number 6 on our list of weird sports that were in the Olympics. I think the title changes every time I say it. The two-handed throws.
Chest pass.
Another one, the two-hand bounce pass in the Olympics.
Who's the best at the chest pass? All right.
Yet another one-time appearance. Although technically, this is 3 one-time appearances rolled into one, because in the 1912 Summer Games in Stockholm, okay, wait. If you're scoring at home, we have London, St. Louis, Paris, now Stockholm.
Right.
Let's keep track of where we're going here. When does Dallas get a turn at the Olympics? Do you remember when they tried in 2012?
I do remember.
God, I'm so glad that didn't work. In addition to the regular shot put, javelin, and discus events, there was also a two-handed version of each. Wait, so like a two-handed javelin?
Right.
Are you throwing 2 javelins at one time and they aggregate the distance?
No, you just double grip the one pole to see how far you can throw it.
All 3 were scored the same. Each competitor got 3 throws.
Everybody's running up to the javelin throwing line looking like a crazy farmer trying to catch that thing.
Holding it like a pitchfork. No, see, it says each got 3 throws with their left hand and then 3 throws with their right hand.
Oh, man, no. It's both hands at the same time.
The longest throws from each hand were added together to get the total distance. Surprising, or maybe not surprising, there were many duplicate medal winners in the one-handed and two-handed events. Oh, my God. I can't believe I've been sitting on this list for 2 years, Lance.
This guy can throw a mean javelin right-handed, but that left-handed throw is going to look something fierce.
I look like a girl when he threw left-handed. No offense, ladies. I'm sure y'all are all adequate athletes. Number 5. I totally could have entered this in like 5th grade. Rope climbing.
Okay.
Big Red, did you ever climb a rope?
Yes, I had to.
Not in the military. I mean in elementary school.
I had to do that. This was the first time I ever had to do it. It was like in 2nd grade or something.
Okay, and then if you also climbed a rope in the military after that, and like in basic training or whatever,
Yeah.
did you have the same result that you did in 2nd grade?
No, it was much better.
You know what I mean? Well, I wasn't talking about that.
Are you talking about surprise teenage?
I'm talking about making the rope pregnant.
After I got done, there was rope, and then there was little twine on the floor.
There was some of yours on the floor. Oh, for the love of all that is holy. Rope climbing, boys. Unlike the previous entries of the list, rope climbing was part of 4 different Olympic Games, including the inaugural modern Olympic Games in 1896 in Athens. All right, so we got another city here. Let's keep up with our cities.
Right.
Athens.
Yes.
Where'd we go in 1900? Paris.
Stockholm.
Paris.
St. Louis.
Paris. No.
And then in 2012. No. 04 was
London.
No, 1900 was London.
04
So it's Athens,
was
London, St. Louis, Paris, and Stockholm.
All right, fine.
That's where we're going. How in the F did St. Louis end up in the middle of all of that?
I mean, well, that you did also throw in Stockholm.
Well, Stockholm's a not American city. It's Sweden.
Yeah,
they got a syndrome named after them.
Yeah,
oh, God.
Popular.
China had a syndrome too, and what's his name? Michael Douglas and Jane Fonda were really good in it. I guess nobody's seen that movie.
Probably.
It was really good. The China Syndrome, it was really good. Y'all should watch it. Let's see. Rope climbing was part of the gymnastics program. At its high point in the 1924 Paris. Got it. Paris. It went back to Paris in 1924.
You've lost me on dates and cities. Just tell me sports.
It had 7 competitors from 9 nations. In the United States, competitive rope climbing was sanctioned by the NCAA.
Wait. You just said 7 competitors from 9 nations. How the fuck does that work?
That's a good question, but that's exactly what it says. 7 competitors.
Am I the only one that caught that?
That's
what it says.
2 guys running out there with 2 separate
They
flags.
got dual citizenship. Lance.
Woo!
Why you gotta be a player hater? At its high point, 1924 Paris, 7 competitors from 9 nations. In the United States, competitive rope climbing was sanctioned by the NCAA until the early 1960s. Competitive rope climbing was a thing until the 60s, boys. Not in the Olympics, though.
All of them grew up to be Spider-Man.
There are still international rope climbing events held today. In the rope climbing competitors, whatever. In rope climbing, God, they didn't put a comma there. Competitors started from a sitting position, and they could use only their arms to climb. In Olympic competition, both time and style, or keeping the legs horizontal to the ground, were considered in scoring.
Okay.
That seems hard. No pun intended.
Just go up that rope like a pole.
And don't get the rope pregnant.
That's right.
Number 4 on our list of the weird Olympic sports that previously existed in the Olympics. Tug of war.
That
old-fashioned battle of strength.
That seems like that should still be in the Olympics. That just seems like one that should have stayed. Just get the biggest, strongest guys from each place and just see who can tug the rope the best.
That died off with network superstars, didn't it?
Battle of the network stars. That was awesome. I would never get away with that today. They make too much money. Let's see. In the 1904 St. Louis games, the American teams, 2 of which were from the same St. Louis Athletic Club, swept the medals, probably giving a new meaning to home field advantage. 4 years later, the 2008 London Games, Great Britain returned the favor by sweeping all 3 medals on their home turf. Interestingly, all 3 British teams were comprised of police officers. The British team countered the got ahead of myself. The American team comprised mostly of competitors in the I lost interest. Number 3, skeleton.
All right. So just the bad guy and the He-Man just won every medal.
Skeletor.
Okay.
We all know what skeleton is. I thought it was. Isn't skeleton still on?
I thought skeleton was still in it. That's rowing. I mean.
This may seem like a surprising entry to those out there who follow the current Winter Games. Skeleton has been a regular sport in the Winter Olympics since 2002. For those not familiar, skeleton is similar to the luge, except that the competitors ride face first on their stomachs instead of feet first on their backs. However, what makes this event so unusual is that until 2002, it was only included in the Winter Games. Oh, it was only included when the Winter Games took place in St. Moritz, Switzerland.
That's the only place they had a skeleton course.
Because they were the only city that had an actual skeleton track. Unfortunately for the skeleton enthusiasts, the games had only been in St. Moritz twice, 28 and 48. Blah, blah, blah. By the way, the Americans swept both of those Olympic medals. Here's one that you guys will appreciate. As our number 2, we've got 2 more. Number 2 on the list of weird Olympic sports, live pigeon shooting.
I'm sure Peter would have had a field day with that.
Live Christmas.
Pigeon shooting, boys. The 1900 Olympics in Paris, live pigeons were released one at a time, and competitors tried to shoot as many in a row as possible.
Dead pigeon, dead pigeon, dead pigeon, dead pigeon, dead pigeon. Oh, it's a live pigeon.
As soon as competitors missed 2 birds, they were eliminated. Nearly 300 birds were shot and killed. As one might expect, the event turned quite messy as the field soon became littered with dead and wounded birds, feathers, and blood.
There's half the pigeon population of that current city is all just sitting out in the middle of a field, just wounded, just cawing at everything else. While people cheer that another one got shot, yeah, no, PETA has no problems with that whatsoever. That would sure carry over today, no problem.
To add to the weirdness, an award of 20,000 francs was the prize for the winner. The top 4 finishers agreed to split
the Olympics,
prize.
they're like, here,
Yes.
have some francs. All right.
Beans and franks.
It eventually made enough noise that the Olympics organizers switched to clay pigeons in subsequent games. However, there has been some debate over the years on whether or not this was an official Olympic event, and the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, has been reluctant to verify it. Well, no shit, they're going to distance from it as far as they can.
We've got a distance from that. And that one time we thought it was cool to shoot those monkeys. I swear to God, it's all the holy. I thought turkeys could fly.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Number 1 on our list. This is going to be there's a twist here. As number 1 is a tie between ice hockey and figure skating. Why is it on the list of sports that aren't around anymore? It's because they both made their debuts during the Summer Olympic Games.
What?
They played ice hockey and did ice figure skating in the Summer Olympic Games beginning in 1908 in London.
Okay, just yeah. That's how you know that people back in the day were just as messed up as people nowadays, because that made it through. Just we just didn't know about it, and there wasn't social media to let us know that the stupid situation where we put ice hockey where it has ice in the name, and everybody at that point should also know that figure skating wasn't people out there with the rollerblades on. Ah, God.
Because until 1924, it was just one Olympics. There was no winter and summer. So they just played ice hockey and did figure skating during the Summer Olympics, what was then called just Summer Olympics. In 1924, they had the first rendition of the Winter Olympics, and they switched it, obviously, to wintertime. So there's your top 9 at 9 for the weirdest winter, or the winter sports that were, sports. I don't know why we're still playing music.
I mean, because you're in control of the board, sir.
We need a board up.
We need a lot of things. By the way, if you have anybody that's interested in doing any kind of sales for the Drunk Sports Podcast or DSP Media, we have a job opening and ready to go. And it just, you find it, we'll cut you a piece of it, and you give us a piece of it. And we'll just all run around with pieces of money and be happy and smart.
And pieces of each other.
I mean, you're not taking a piece of me.
I'll give pieces out.
All right, good.
I'm a good piece.
Not from what you've described to your own personal self.
Just throwing that out there. I'm a good piece. Mark.